Hey Joe, go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself for us today.
Okay, I'm Joe Nestor and located in Northwest Ohio. Basically been here all my life. I have been associated with Brookside for a little over 25 years now. Prior to that, I worked in the retail fertilizer business and pretty hectic business. We had a good business, but there were too many things beyond my control that affected uh, my compensation and profitability and things like that. You took the entire year's workload and shoved it into 3 or 4 months, which was pretty hectic too. And you were always under the gun to, if you hit X last year, then you need to hit X plus 10 this coming year and things like that. So the part I really enjoyed was being in the field and doing the agronomy work, and it seemed like I was really getting stuck behind a desk. So had threatened to do it for several years, and finally my wife said, you need to do this or else shut up about it. So I started the independent consulting business and really didn't know that Brookside was available out there. Didn't understand what Brookside was. But the retail fertilizer company that I worked for had its own soils lab, and they had a better price on soils and analysis for their retail outlets than they charged the general public. So I made a call to the lab manager, told him I was going out on my own, and I wanted a good price on soil testing. And he said his name was Dr. John Ballas, a Purdue grad, and he said, "Are you going to sell fertilizer?" And I said, "No, I'm just going to work with agronomy and soil testing and fertility recommendations." And he said, "Well," he said, "you need to check out Brookside Laboratories because they have the best support system in the country for independent consultants." He said, "You check that out, and if it doesn't fit, then you let me know and I'll quote you a price." So that was one of the greatest favors anybody ever did for me, was pointed me in the direction of Brookside. And so then I met Bill McKibben and went down and met Brent and Mark at the lab, and I guess the story goes from there. So um, that's how I got involved with Brookside. Um, what next, Lauren?
What is some advice that you could offer some of our consultants?
Okay. I guess expanding on that Brookside advantage. So that would be involved and go to the conferences and be involved in the peer groups that we have running now, and call your fellow consultants. There is a wealth of knowledge out there that if I hadn't been associated with Brookside, I would just be flying by the seat of my pants. But when you've got 100+ consultants out there all chasing ultimately the same thing, you need to tap into that network and become friends with these guys. I mean, I got some guys that I do some things with outside of Brookside because of the relationships that we've developed, but it's been very helpful and very healthy for our business here. So it's a great learning experience, and the consultant themselves lead that. So I know things get in the way. There's county fairs and raising families and a lot of other irons in the fire, but you need to make an investment in yourself and become involved and set at the table, because it will really help you and help your business grow.
It's great advice. What is something that you have done that has benefited you and your business over the years with Brookside?
Well, I think I was always, coming from the retail fertilizer side, I was comfortable with sales. I had a lot to learn in agronomy. Sometimes I thought I knew, or at least I was told what I should do. And once I became associated with Brookside, it opened a lot of doors and it opened my mind to where, you don't always take somebody else's word for it. And you don't always just keep doing things the way everybody else has done it. There's more than one way to skin this cat. So one of the things we did was a network of research plots with our customers, which was, I think, a great asset for them. It puts a good bond in with your customer. And we're trying to figure out, we learn from the field. That's where we learn from, and from other consultants. So those test plots is one thing. And the other thing is I spent a lot of time being involved with local soil and waters, NRCS. Spent some time on CCA board, like other Brookside consultants have, and started doing some speaking at those public meetings around the region. And they're always looking for someone with a topic, and it's great to have someone that's not selling them something to talk about an agronomy topic too. And I would say that that has really helped our business a lot. We've picked up accounts that we never would have met or ventured out on had we not been willing to step up and put on some of those meetings. Now, most of them were for free, and sometimes you ask yourself, how much of that can you do for free? But really, I looked at it as a sales opportunity. And so that's something that I would suggest to the consultants is be involved. Go meet those people. They're looking for help for someone who's got really hands-on experience on a day-to-day basis on the problems out there. So that would be the main suggestion.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks for all of your input and knowledge today, Joe. We really appreciate it.
You bet, Lauren. It was great talking with you.
You too.